Good evening, and welcome to another episode of the Mindset Master Podcast. I'm your host, Tony Reed, and I'm also the proprietor of the podcast. Now, with today's episode, we're going to be talking about how to talk to anyone without feeling awkward. Now, the reason we're talking about this is because I've been receiving a lot of emails and text messages about people wanting to know key steps that they can take and do because it's getting summertime and more events are rock and rolling and more people want to be together and around other people. So for those people who may be a little bit socially awkward, this episode is going to be one for you. Now, this episode is going to be my actual first live episode. So if you hear me stumbling, stuttering, sneezing, coughing, or whatever, you guys are going to see it live. Now, just a quick heads up, my neighbor is out back over here. He is cutting his grass and doing some maintenance around his house. So you might hear a lawnmower, a weed eater, or you might hear a hammer or two hitting some nails. So just don't let that alarm you. I'm going to try to speak up into the microphone so that way if he does just start cutting his grass again, that it won't necessarily interrupt our show here. Now, before I get started, I want to talk about my talking points right here. I don't have a script. I only have my camera here, my computer here, and my iPad over here. And my iPad has my talking points on it. So realistically, I'm going to make this episode, this live, as quick as I possibly can, but still give you key information that you actually want and need here. So that way I can help guide you to have better communications with other people in life. Now, one thing that I do want to talk about two talking points here. The first talking point that I want to talk about is why your brain defaults to self-criticism. And the second talking point I want to talk about is going to be confidence boosting strategies that don't require you to fake it when you're in a conversation with somebody. Now, the first one that we're going to talk about is why your brain defaults to self-criticism. The reason your brain defaults to self-criticism, and I hate to say it like this, is because the way how you was brought up. If you was brought up in an area where people are saying negative, mean, crazy, belligerent things to each other, quite naturally, that's what you're going to bring to the mix whenever you get older. So the way how you was brought up, and I'm not blaming your parents, I'm not blaming anyone. No one's to blame here, but I just want you to be well aware of how you are, why you are the way that you are. And that's going to be because of your upbringing. If you heard your whole life that if a person who is 18 has a Lamborghini and they have a big 5,000 square foot palatial estate, if you've heard that people who fit that criteria are either drug dealers, mafia gangsters, or they have done something illegal in life to get to that particular status, see, that is a negative self-connotation right there. And if you have heard something like that for your whole life, and then now you're 26 and you see somebody who's 17, like a drop shipper or something like that, who's 17 with a pocket full of money, if you see that particular person and you have not rewired your brain, and if you see somebody like that, what's the first thing you're going to think? The way how you was brought up. Man, I wonder what he's selling. Shit, put me on his team. You know, things like that are going to be those negative thought processes that we have inherited from the way how we were brought up. And if you roll those same thought processes up into your day to day, then that's going to make it where you cannot communicate with people. That's going to make it where nobody realistically wants to deal with you. It's like, who wants to deal with somebody at a Met Gala or at a wedding or something, trying to mix and mingle, and you're negative the whole day? There's nothing wrong with you being negative and nothing wrong with you thinking negative sometimes. But if you always think negative, who realistically wants to be around that? I know I don't. And I'm pretty sure the people who are watching right now live, I'm pretty sure that you guys don't want to be around nobody that's always negative. Like, negative is contagious. That's one germ that nobody wants. Nobody wants that negative germ, because just imagine if you done everything right in life and you don't have to work anymore. You're 18, you don't have to work. You done things right in life. You saved your money up. You invested your money into a business startup. Like, again, you did the things right in life, and you decide to go out here and get a 458 Ferrari or something like that. Why should people think that you're a drug dealer? I mean, because you don't have a big pot belly, or because you hadn't been shot, stabbed, beat up, blowed up, got 1,000 kids. Why do you think that people think that you're a drug dealer? And the reason that is because of how they was brought up, that negative connotation about money. See, some people was brought up with the aspect of you have to be a certain age, you got to go through a certain thing, you got to have certain things happen to you in life before you're able to get a Ferrari, before you're able to get a Lamborghini. But see, if you want people to communicate with you, and if you want to be the person who people love to talk to at parties and stuff like that, you have to get over that negative connotation that because you're young, you don't deserve that. You have to not think about that, because the person deserves the Ferrari when they do Ferrari type of things. If you're sitting back keeping up with the Kardashians all day and stuff like that, and you're not doing nothing to expand your life or expand your brain besides keeping up with them, that's not going to keep you, that's not going to make you happy in life. It's only going to keep you stagnant and living a altruistic life through their eyes. See, the best thing to do is to be able to live life through your lens, through your landscape, through your spectacles. Never try to live life through nobody else's eyes, not even your parents' eyes. And see, that's how a lot of things come up in life. A lot of negativity comes up in life because we want to be like somebody else. We want to vote the way our parents voted. We want to go up here and go to the same college our mom and daddy went to. We don't want to leave our town. We don't want to leave our city or our hamlet. We don't want to do anything like that. We just want to stay stagnant. But see, it's the people who take chances, who are bold, and who do things in life that stands out. Those are going to be the people who have the best communication skills, because they can take their life experiences and what they've done because they was not scared to take a chance. They was not scared to do things. And so they can take that realistic experience and have eons of conversations with that. Now, we're going to get into that in a moment here. But I just wanted to let you know the main reason why your brain defaults to self-criticism and how to rewire it. Again, let me repeat. You rewire your brain by not thinking negative things about people when you see them. Don't have that negative human perception. Just because you see a little kid rolling up in a Colonel's egg or something like that, that doesn't mean that he's some spoiled or rich brat or something like that. All these negative things, because he is where you want to be and where you want your kids to be. He's exactly right there. So stop putting negative connotations out to the world about how people got their money. It doesn't matter if they went out and made an exotic movie and got paid. It doesn't matter if they did this and got paid. It doesn't matter how you think or how you feel. All that matters is that they got the particular item and they have done the things in life halfway right. See, even if you don't agree with their decisions, they clearly had to have done something right in life to even be able to halfway afford a Lamborghini. Because I know people who allegedly do things right in life, they can't even afford a Fiat. I mean, they can't afford anything like that, but they do the right things in life. Oh, they go to church 7 days a week. Oh, they do this all the time. Oh, they help divert people from this. Oh, they help this. But clearly they're not doing something right in life, opposed to this person over here who's 18, who got $1 million mansions and stuff. See, stop thinking that people had to do something illegal to get to their particular status in life, because everybody doesn't have to do nothing illegal to get to their status. They can be a football player, basketball player, soccer player, businessman, businesswoman, author, race car driver. A lot of things people can be but please stop stereotyping people because you don't understand how they got how they got so fast. Now, let's get into the main meat and bones of why you are here today. And that's going to be to learn how to talk to anyone without feeling awkward. So now, the first thing that we need to do is we need to discuss confidence boosting strategies that don't require you to fake it. Now, the number one thing that you have to do when you want to talk to somebody is you actually have to want to talk to that person. That's it. Ooh, microphone drop. If you don't want to talk to that person, for example, if you see somebody over here, and let's just say you're a female and you're on your menstrual cycle for that week, and you over here at JC Penney's and you see a person who you went to school with, and they say, "Oh, hey, Ashley." And then you send back like, "Oh God, oh man, this is Lisa. Oh God, it's Lisa and Benita. I don't really feel like talking to them today. Oh my God, shit. I'm hurting, my stomach is cramping, and I just want to be left alone." But the person who you want to leave you alone, the person who you don't want to talk to, that can be the particular person who could change your life in a positive aspect. See, whenever you don't want to talk to somebody, that's the time when you realistically need to be talking to them, because God sent them your way. The universe sent them your way. The spirit sent them your way, whatever you believe, but they sent them your way. And then when you tell the universe you don't want to talk to this particular person, what if you was in need of a job, and then the person who you seen over here, JC Penney, you went to school with, because you don't feel like talking, what do they have a job for you? What do they know somebody? What if their husband is the owner of the department store right here, and they looking for somebody to start work immediately for $30 an hour? Now, because you didn't want to talk to this particular person, now you done missed out on some good money. See, in order to be able to talk to anyone at any time without feeling awkward or weird, you have to want to talk to the person. You can't just expect phenomenal outcomes when you don't really want to be bothered with a particular person. Now, that's one thing a lot of people don't understand. A lot of people think, "Oh yeah, I woke up and I kind of want to talk, but I kind of don't." See, if you feel like that, then you're going to be exerting that in your tone, your energy, your vibe. It's going to be saying, "You know what, Lisa, I don't really want to talk to you. I really would rather be wrapping Christmas gifts right now than talking to you." And even though you may not verbally say that, but your tone, your actions, the way how you do your body language, that's going to be speaking that particular language. And then when your body speaks that particular language, that's going to be the particular language that the person is going to be understanding in their ear. Like, "Oh man, you know what? This person don't really want to be bothered with me. Man, I was going to go up and ask this person if they knew somebody who was looking for a job. Well, let me just keep this hush hush." And then next thing you know, you done missed out on a golden opportunity. So the main thing in order for you to be able to talk to anyone without feeling awkward or weird is going to be, you have to first want to talk to the person. Now, tip number 2 is going to be, use your real life examples to get a conversation started. So for example, let's just say if you're at a cocktail party and you're kind of mingling around, like you went there by yourself, you're kind of like mingling, navigating around and things like that. And a group of people kind of wave to you, "Hey man, come here, come over here with us." And you don't really know what to say. You're kind of like, "Oh, hey, hey guys." Instead of all that type of stuff, use your real life examples, because as humans, we've all been through certain things that other people have not been through. We've seen certain things that other people haven't seen. And we've all had different experiences in life that other people may have not experienced. I've been to Disneyland 3 times in my life. My wife has been to Disneyland 3 times in her life. But my experience when I went to Disneyland back in the 80s, in the 90s, is different from when my wife went to Disneyland in the 90s and in the 2000s. Different decades, different times of life. So you can take your real life experiences, like for example, if you're at a cocktail party and you are a car guy or you're a car gal, go up and start asking people certain questions. Be like, hey, like, what do you do for a living? You seem like, you seem like a really cool, interesting person. What kind of work do you do for a living? Oh man, well, what kind of work I do for a living? I'm an auto mechanic. Oh, really? I love cars. Oh, what kind of cars do you love? Oh, I love Chevrolet G-bodies, Malibus, Cutlass, Monte Carlos. Oh my gosh, I have a Monte Carlo SS 350 right now that I want to sell. See, stuff like that. That is how you become the life of the party. Even if you don't want to be the life of the party, you just want to get a really good conversation going. Tip number 2 is going to be the most applicable one, is because you have to realistically use your real life experiences. Now, when you use your real life experiences, don't try to outshine nobody. Don't try to make it where you feel like you're better than somebody because maybe perhaps they have not had the same type of experiences that you perhaps may have had. So never try to make anybody feel like not worthy or anything like that. So for example, if you're at a cocktail party and you're talking about mechanics and stuff like that, but then the other person doesn't know anything about mechanics, just kind of relax a little bit, but don't keep talking about mechanics. And you have to learn how to read the room. That's another point. You have to read the room. If the room is talking about Modelo beer and you're talking about Cricket cell phones, that ain't what you want to do. You always want to blend in, like they always say. And when in Rome, you have to do as the Romans. And see, that's how you use your real life experience. Now, if they're talking about something that you have no clue, no experience, no earthly idea what they're talking about, then just sit back and just be quiet and observe and learn. You learn by listening. See, a lot of times people want to try to talk too much. People want to try to get their words across and stuff like that. But you can always tell somebody who don't really have a lot of attention at home, or they're not really getting a lot of attention. They're going to be that little loudmouth person who can't shut the hell up because they're not really getting the attention that they need to get in life. They're not getting that attention from the home front. So when they go out to parties and stuff like that, they say crazy, outlandish, belligerent things because this is the time when they can purge and get things off their chest. But see, this isn't the time to say outlandish and belligerent things. This is the time to be a sponge. Sit back and listen. And then when you sit back and listen, you can learn a hell of a lot more when you sit back listening to people, more so when you're trying to talk and get your point across like that. Because realistically, nobody really cares about your point. They don't. People only care about their point and their point only. And after they care about their point and their point only, they might care about their family's points and points only. Other than that, nobody realistically cares about your point. So when you are at a party, you have to stay light. You got to stay neutral. You got to learn how to use different topics at the appropriate time. Again, if everybody's talking about golf and then you're talking about grilling out hot dogs and stuff like that, that doesn't go together. Find something else to talk about that's within the same vicinity. Now, again, if you don't know anything about the topic, please do not get involved in the conversation. Now, you might be thinking, Tony, well, if I'm at a cocktail party, everybody else is talking about golf. I don't know nothing about golf. What if they try to get me to talk about golf? Okay, glad you asked that question. Now, the best way to do that is to just say, hey, look, I don't really know a lot about golf and I don't like sounding like a clown. So I'm just going to sit back and let you guys have this conversation here because I want to learn about golf and I'm going to sit back and listen to y'all converse about golf. And then, maybe when I learn more about golf, we can, I can tap into certain conversations. See, that's one of the main things right there that I want to teach you. Don't try to jump into a conversation with somebody and you have no earthly idea about it. That's just like I was at an event, and it was a cooking event, and this one lady, she didn't know a thing about cooking. She didn't know a thing. And then the little instructor had advised her she needs to knead the dough. And so, like when you knead the dough, you kind of forming it and stuff like that. Well, she act like she was this big time chef, and when the instructor said knead the dough, she went back and picked the dough up, saying, "Oh, I don't need the dough for this step." Now, hold on. Now, let me repeat that for some of y'all who caught what I just said. The instructor asked this lady to knead the dough. She literally thought she needed the dough, like she needed to go pick the dough up and bring it back. No, kneading dough means, like I said, you're making you're doing, like little manipulations to it and stuff like that. That's what that means. So that whole event, that lady got laughed at, even though she didn't know she was getting laughed at. But they almost basically made a fool out of this lady because she act like she was a certain thing that she wasn't. And that's going to segue me into my next talking point. Do not ever lie about your experiences. If you're not a culinary artist, please don't be acting like you Wolfgang Puck, a guy for really. Please don't be acting like you're on the top shelf or nothing like that. Please don't do that. Just be who you are. Just be natural. That's all you have to do. Because if you are at a cocktail party, somebody there knows how to cook, and they're going to ask you, "Oh yeah, so what do you put inside of your arugula soup?" Then you sit back saying, "Oh, I put garlic, I put cinnamon, I put Cajun pepper, I put ketchup." The person is going to look at you and know that you have no earthly idea on how to make a proper arugula soup, because you would never put those ingredients in there. Even if you was drunk, you would never put those ingredients in there. So always tell the truth. If you've done it, you've done it. If you ain't done it, you ain't done it. Don't try to stunt in front and act like you're something more than what you are, because if you do that, that's going to be cute and cool for a little bit. But then people are going to kind of pick up on you have no clue on what you are talking about. Like, I hate when somebody try to get into one of my conversations or something like that, and you have no earthly clue is on what we're talking about. Almost like you was eavesdropping, and then you try to see what you can snag into the conversation. See, never do that. Never ever lie to try to blend in. You don't do that. When you do that, people are going to find out, and then they're going to do two things. The first thing they're going to do, they're going to make fun of you for lying. The second thing they're going to do, they're going to excommunicate you from any kind of event, because if you're talking about, how to make an arugula soup, why would they invite you to the next cocktail party? Why would they invite you to a party at their house? Why would they invite you somewhere like that? If you're going to be lying, stunting, and fronting and acting like you're this and you're that when you're realistically not, nobody's going to want to invite you over. Nobody's going to want to spend time with you. Nobody's going to want to be at these group meetings with you or anything like that, because people do not like liars, and we can spot a liar out quick, fast, and in a hurry. So if you feel like you have to lie to make it, or you got to stunt in front in the conversation, please don't even have that conversation. Please listen to Tony Reed on the show right here, and don't even engage in conversation. Only engage in conversation when you know what the hell you are talking about, because that'd be like me trying to go up here and talk about a Harley Davidson motorcycle. I know a little bit about Harley Davidsons, but I don't know as much as my dad knows about them. But if somebody's talking about a Suzuki motorcycle, oh, I can go all day with a Suzuki motorcycle, because that's what I specialize in. I know Suzuki products because I have a Suzuki. I've been riding Suzuki my whole life. I can tell you every single thing about it. I can tell you every single model. But if I'm at a dinner party and somebody's talking about Harley Davidson motorcycles, I'm not going to say one word. Now, if somebody tries to get me into the conversation by saying, "Hey, Tony, man, you know about Harley Davidsons?" Me, Tony Reed, I'm going to say, no, I don't know about Harley Davidsons because I'm more of a Jap bike guy. I'm more of a Crocs rocket guy. But I can talk Crocs rockets all day, but I'm gonna just sit back and let y'all teach me about Harley Davidson so I can expand my repertoire. See, that's what it is. See, if people know that you are wanting to learn, if people know that you are inclined to building your repertoire up, they don't mind helping you. They don't mind taking time to help you perfect what you want to talk about. They don't mind helping you talk about Harley Davidson motorcycles and the difference between a twin cam and a single cam. They'll be able to talk to you about all of that because they know you came from a genuine, open, honest place in life, and people like genuineness. See, and that's another thing. Whenever you go up here and lie about something that you've done, what that's going to do, that's going to make you seem not trustworthy. That's going to make you seem like the clown in the room. And who wants to realistically be around the clown in the room? Nobody realistically wants to be around the clown in the room. So as long as you are not lying to people, long as you actually do the things and have done the things that you are talking about, don't be trying to live your life through the Kardashians. Don't be trying to talk about, I went to the Mariana Trench just because you seen them go there. And then somebody say, oh, yeah, I've been down to the Mariana Trench. I have too. And then they ask you, oh, hey, well, when you got down 15 foot, did your ears pop? Then you sit back like, no, my ears didn't pop. I didn't even have to put a snorkel on. Okay. This person here is lying. So let's not talk to this person. So again, whenever you are trying to get people to talk to you and you are trying to make it where you can talk to people without feeling awkward, please do not lie about something that you've done. If you did it, you did it. If you didn't do it, you didn't do it. Now, that's going to segue us into my next talking point. And that's going to be to pay attention to when people are talking to you. What I mean is, a lot of people would like for you to remember details about them. A lot of people like for you to remember their name. If you don't remember their name, that's okay, but at least halfway remember them if you ever see them again, because that makes people feel good. I never will forget one day, it was a guy, I used to work at this office supply store years ago. I mean, years and years ago. I'm going like 20 some years ago. And I was at Walmart one day, years later. Now I was like a teenager when I was working at the store, but then, I was in my late 30s. The next time I seen the guy, his name is Jason. I was like, Jason? He was like, hey man, who are you? I'm like, oh yeah, man, it's me, Tony Reed, man. You remember you used to come to the office supply store? Do you still got that red Porsche you used to have? And dude looked at me like, hold on, who are you again? Oh, Tony Reed. I used to work at the office supply store. I didn't such and such. Office supply store. Oh, I do remember. You were the little guy. That's it. You see, now the guy, he feels bad now because I remember him, but he didn't remember me. See, as a human, people don't want to be the bad guy, the bad girl who didn't remember the person who made a valiant effort to come and wave and speak to them. Like I broke my neck to go say hi to that man, and he didn't remember me. And so he felt like a piece of turd because he didn't remember me. But then when he remembered me, he started bringing up all these other things that we've done and all these other conversations. It hit him like a light bulb. He was like, man, Tony, I forgot all about you, man. But see, that's the thing. He can forget about you, but don't you forget about him. Because show him how much he means to you in your life. Even if you only have conversation with that person for 13 minutes, it's irrelevant. Put a placard of marker in your head, how something about this person. Like what I used to do, if we had an interesting, if I had an interesting conversation with somebody, I would write in my phone when I got their phone number. I would write down like, hey, we had a conversation, like on your notes on your phone. I would say, hey, this person name is Jason V. We had a conversation at the Dollar Tree about this, that, and the other. And then when I see this person again, I can go to my notes and then I'll be like, hold on, that's Jason V. And then I can go to my notes and be like, oh, okay, yeah, we talked about this. He said he got 2 kids and he got this and he got this. See, people love to hear stuff like that because nobody realistically remembers anything in today's time because you got to put everything on your phone. A lot of people don't halfway remember anything in today's time. But if you can remember somebody, you can remember one detail about that person is going to be ecstatic to talk to you. That person is going to be extremely, extremely happy to talk to you because a lot of people forget people in life and they forget certain events in life. And then when you forget certain events in life, what that's going to do, that's going to make the person not feel valued. Now, just imagine if a person was coming up to you and was telling you how y'all went to school together, and then you, for some reason, don't remember them. You, for some reason, don't remember them. You genuinely don't remember them. Well, one piece of advice I can give you is to play it off. You can be like, man, oh, hey, what's up, man? How you doing, man? Long time no see. And then once y'all get to talking, as long as you're paying attention, and then you can kind of start putting certain things back together. Don't be one of those people who try to block certain times off in your life and who try to get this out of your head like it never happened. It happened. So use what happened, and you can use that as a building block to build the conversation up. Now, again, if somebody is new in your life and you've never seen them, you don't know anything about them, again, you can use your real life experiences to go up there and navigate through the conversation. And again, never ever lie in any kind of conversation, because the moment you lie, there is going to be a zero tolerance, because that's going to be the quickest way to get people to not believe in you, to not trust in you, to not realistically want to be around you, to not want to do business with you, to not want to have a thing to do with you. And I can't halfway too much blame them, because who realistically wants to be around somebody lying? Like, why would you lie and say that you got a motorcycle? Oh, you know what? I'm gonna give you another example right here. Speaking about motorcycles, okay. So, and I'm gonna get ready to close the episode with this one here. When I was about 21 or 22, I used to ride with a whole bunch of different guys and girls and stuff in like a motorcycle group. One day we was at the Exxon gas station on Broadway in Nashville. And that was our meetup spot. That was we every Friday and Saturday. We meet up there, hang out, ride our bikes and stuff like that. Well, one dude had this really, really nice bike, and he was talking about how his bike was so nice and this and this and this and that and the other. So he told us that he had went down and he had paid cash for his motorcycle. So we didn't ask him if he paid cash for the motorcycle, but he was like just adamant about how much money he had and called him big money. Okay, so 2 or 3 months went by, and me and Big Money had became really good friends and stuff like that. And I called him one day. I'm like, hey, Big Money, you want to go ride today? Man, I ain't got my motorcycle no more, Reed. You ain't got your motorcycle no more. What happened? Your motorcycle broke down on you or something? Me and the boys can come and help you fix it. No, man, I had to get rid of my bike. Hold on, what you mean you had to get rid of your bike? Man, they came and he got the stuttering and stammering, man. Man, they came and they repossessed my bike. Repossess your bike? Damn, Big Money. Hold on. How they repossess your motorcycle when you own it? How does that happen? What, you owe the IRS or something? No, man. Down at the Suzuki dealership, man, I missed 2 or 3 months of payments because I lost my job and all this and all that. Man, you see how Big Money, how idiotic he looked because he lied to the group and saying that he owned this motorcycle, but then he wound up getting his shit repossessed. Now he can't never come back from that lot because now when we see big money out there, we wouldn't even call him big money, we call him Lamont. So he lost that title. He lost that credibility of being called big money. See, that's one thing you don't do. You never ever lie about your situation because it will come out. You got trolls out there who all they do is look online and try to find lies in your story. So always make sure to tell the absolute open and honest truth whenever you are communicating with somebody. Now, let me go back over the list right here before we go. Now, when you want to talk to somebody and build meaningful connections with people and get people to really want to talk to you and really want to be around you when you're at these parties and things like that, the number one thing you must do, you must want to talk to the person. The second thing you must do, you must pay attention to details when people are telling you things. The third thing you must do is you must use your real life examples and use things that you have done and achieved and or accomplished in life. And the fourth thing that you need to do when you want to talk to somebody in any kind of set mingling or anything like that without feeling awkward or weird is always tell the truth. Do not lie. Again, that is going to be a zero tolerance factor right there. So you have 4 things that you've learned in this live webinar right here that's going to propel you to the next level. Now, if you have any questions about anything that I went over today, please reach out to me at info@TonyReedCo, and I would be more than happy to give you the slide deck and be more than happy to give you my talking points right here. Or if you want to actually have a real live coaching session with me one-on-one, also reach out to me at info@TonyReedCo, and then we can set up an arrangement so where you and I can sit down and we can talk and I can help you move past any kind of mental blockades or any kind of barriers that you may be going through. Until next time, I'll catch you later.